of scrap metal video, scrap metal day video, part 2. I'm cutting the sides for my scrap metal project 6.5 inches. So I'm cutting 4 pieces to 6.5 inches. Isn't that exciting? Okay, we got all 4 pieces cut. Like I said, they're 6.5 inches. Just need to clean them up a little bit. Actually, you know what? I think this is like the first project that I'll ever do that's made completely on this welding table. I always end up doing them on the floor, you know, because A, it's more level than my welding table, and B, they're usually they're too big to handle on the welding table. But yeah, this welding table was, if I hadn't said it before, this was the very first thing that I ever made, ever, as far as metalwork goes. So yeah, you know, it kind of shows. It shows it was the first thing I ever made. So, hey, you know what? At the time, I couldn't have been prouder of it. You know what? Honestly, even though maybe I could make a better one now, I'm still proud of it. It's warpy, but I made it. Yeah, I think we're ready to do a few tacks now. Okay, we got it welded up and we got a rough grind put on it. But you know what they say, boys. A little bit of grinding and a little bit of paint makes you the welder that you ain't. That's what they say. They. So that's about the right size, wouldn't you say? Just kind of like the right size? Yeah, I think so. Still got a ways to go. I'm kind of burned out. I'm done for this project for now. Maybe I'll come back at it again tomorrow. Maybe even finish it up. We'll see. We had blizzard all day today. I mean, blizzard, big pile-ups on the highway up 371. Yeah, it was like over 50 cars involved. Whiteout conditions. Yeah, that's life in the north. Good morning, everyone. Here's where we left off yesterday. A basic treasure chest frame with my rounded steel, my angle iron, and we got a rough cleanup on the welds on it. We still have to go back over and smooth out with 120 grain flap disc. So I want to put the sides on next and the floor last. So for the sides, I found this old diamond plate, piece of plate, and I'm going to cut it up and piece it in. And I'm going to get everything all pieced in, tacked and welded down before I go over it and smooth it out, put some finishing touches on it. But that's kind of like common sense, right? Yeah. For this diamond plate steel, I'm just going to use my little portable DeWalt metal cutting saw. It's pretty good for steel this thin, and pretty convenient too. No cords to drag around. I think there's still a little bit more life left in the blade, so I'll give it a shot. Okay, I have all the metal cut for the sides of my box here, all diamond plate. And I'm going to do like, these didn't have to be cut exactly precise because I'm not really doing like a flush mount. In other words, to make it flush with the outside angle iron here. Well, let me show you. I'm not... This is my Viking war chest, where this is flush mounted directly to the angle iron on the box itself. I'm not doing that this time. What I'm doing this time is I'm just going like an inside mount, like that. So you don't have to cut it exactly perfect to get it in there. And that makes it a lot easier. You can just kind of freehand it, or if the saw moves a little bit on your, where you have it clamped down, it doesn't matter. You know, you can be a little off and squeeze it all in there and it still looks professional, which is awesome. Today we're going to be using the Vulcan OmniPro 220 again. Probably finish the whole job with that. I'm going to get all the oil and grease off of this steel. That's the way it came, with a bunch of oil and grease on it. And rust. We got some light. We got it clamped down. Now we're going to tack it and weld it up, and then go from side to side. That's pretty exciting, huh? Now I'm gonna weld it up.
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want. I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. Something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Welding in tight spaces is hard, but we got it in. We got all the sides on. Next thing we got to do is the bottom. So that shouldn't be as hard as the sides. So I started looking around the material container and the shop area for some steel that would fit the bottom of this box. And I brought in like 3 or 4 different pieces. Some I would have to cut once, some twice. And over there in the corner behind the drill press, I saw this. Now this is a miracle for me at this moment, because now I don't have to make a big giant mess cutting steel like I did for everything else, all the sides and everything. It's like I had cut it for this project. Quite literally, this piece of steel I found laying behind the drill press is like made for this project. Well, I'll show you on the outside. It's perfect, and there's enough welding room. It's one of those things that you're like thankful for. It's the little things. Okay, we got that baby welded just right on the bottom. I got to thinking, you know, at first I tried to get it in the inside of it, but it was just too tight a space. I'd have had to cut it in two pieces or cut a smaller piece, and then kind of reach in there and you know, welding in tight spaces is really hard. Did I mention that? Yeah, I think I did. But, you know, there's a reason we got many grinders and 4080 120. That's the grit. So I got it cleaned up pretty good. It's probably hard to tell in this light, but yeah, I'm real happy with it thus far. Need some more light. I was gonna make this top out of like wood, like I said in the last video, but I looked around, I didn't have any wood. And I just like to use what I have on hand. I don't like, I mean, going out and buying something for a project that you're just trying to make out of scrap metal. I mean, aside from casters and the basic welding wire and things like that, I just think it's a challenge just to use what you have on hand. I mean, goofy as that sounds, it's kind of like what I like doing. I got to be able to fit this in here. Okay, I got this expanded metal on the top, but it was a lot harder than I thought it would be because it just wouldn't bend. It is really hard to bend. So I had to cut and weld it. But it doesn't matter, because in order to match the diamond plate base of the box, I was going to kind of dress it up with this diamond plate along the top anyway, which will cover the seam. So I guess it's kind of a win-win. Just got to make sure it's straight. Sort of done. I welded that diamond plate, like I told you I was going to do, to the top. And the only other thing I did was weld on the hinges. So we don't need a chain or anything for this. So that's how it looks thus far. And I'm calling it a day again. I'm going to weld these handles on it, both sides. I'm going to put a latch on it. I'm going to paint it bronze because that color's pretty awesome too, kind of like gold. And I already went in, took my shower. I got my Crocs and my purple pants on, which makes me both awesome and comfortable. So we'll finish this box up tomorrow or the next day. In part 3.